right, peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Taylor House Publishing. First, as always, want to give praises to the Most High for allowing us to be here today. Secondly, I want to thank all of you guys who tune into these videos, who like the videos, who comment, who interact, and most of all, share the videos and subscribe to the channel. I definitely thank you guys for your help and all of the matters that we discuss on this channel. But today's video is similar to a lot of the videos that we've been covering over the past month and a half since the finding of our dear brother Javion McGee. Of course, Javion McGee was the young 21-year-old trucker from Aurora, Illinois, who was found under suspicious circumstances in Henderson, North Carolina. Now, if you don't know, we've been uncovering a lot of information that leads us to believe that, contrary to what Henderson Sheriff Department is saying, the young brother did not do this to himself. Nevertheless, we've been covering a lot of similar instances around the country, and this latest incident is once again more egregious, more horrific as time goes by in relation to the others. This situation deals with the apparent unalivement of 65-year-old Percy Mixon. Percy Mixon was a man from Jackson, Mississippi, who was recently found, and I think he was found on October the 10th, somewhere around that area, and he was found in a wooded area in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, the article that relates to his death is very vague, as they all have been, but the article states that, he was found, the police, are looking for clues. Very vague article. But my man, Prophet P.I., and if you don't know who Prophet P.I. is, make sure you go to TikTok and look him up. He's been giving some different narrative to all of these situations in which the media and the police put out these vague statements about. This brother evidently has some connections down in these areas, and he gives a great narrative to the backdrop and the possible circumstances surrounding Mr. Mixon's death. So I'm going to let you hear his video. First of all, once again, this is fair use. This video is used for educational and commentary purposes only. But once again, if you don't know this young brother, go follow him on TikTok. His name is Prophet P.I. But first, let me read this article to you real quick. Now, if you see, the article states that the Jackson Police Department has identified the body of a man found in a wooded area. According to police, 65-year-old Mixon was found in a wooded area near Forest Avenue Extension and Clay Street on October the 11th. Police said Mixon had been reported missing since October the 2nd. Mixon's cause of demise is unknown at this time. Police are asking anyone with information related to this case to call Crime Stoppers, and there you see the number. Now, you see how vague that article is, but listen to this video by our brother here. Now, with this information that he's providing, I know the police know this same information, so why is it that they are not putting this information out? Now, not even the intricate details, but at least the manner in which the young brother was found. Now, just watch this video and then I'll come back to you. Just watch this video.
A little bit more, and we have to do something about this. I'm talking about everybody. I don't care if you're black, white, whoever. Everybody. This needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. It's time out for the kumbayas and marching and everything. It's time out for that. It's time for us to put boots on the ground. This man was found hanging upside down by his feet from a tree. Did you hear me? Upside down by his feet from a tree. A little background on Percy Mixon. He grew up in Jackson, Mississippi. He was raised in 49 South area of Jackson. That's known for the gravel road. So Percy, he becomes a hardworking man who operates heavy machinery. His dedication, his work, and ethics, right, earn him the respect of the entire community. Now, follow me on this. Now, this comes down to the relationship that he was in. He gets into a relationship, an interracial relationship with a woman from Alabama. And his girlfriend, she moves to Mississippi to be with him. They become inseparable. They loved each other. And according to one of the family members, they're known as freaking frat. And this is where all the problems began. Percy started getting a lot of harassment because of this interracial relationship. And we know down in Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, a lot of other places, but especially in Mississippi, that's a no-no down there. They don't like that. So he started getting a lot of harassment. And it started getting very dangerous for him and his girlfriend. He was harassed so bad where some of the neighbors, and we're going to find out who they are, some of the neighbors started shooting at him, making threats. And it is known and proven that Percy was making calls to the police department, begging and pleading for them to protect him. And they did nothing. Is that a surprise? So October the 1st, Percy visited his mother, tells her about the shooting and harassment and everything. He hugs her tightly, not knowing that this was going to be the last time that they see each other. Percy went to go stay in a hotel that evening, and a friend arranges for Percy and his girlfriend to stay at that hotel for safety reasons. His girlfriend reports that Percy left the hotel that night to walk the dogs without his shoes but never returned. That's suspect to me. Because look, I'm a country boy myself, but I ain't going to go out there walking on no gravel and everything barefooted walking my dogs. I feel somebody came there and drug him up out of that room. Somebody's. Then it goes on to report that Percy was reported missing less than 24 hours after Percy doesn't show up for work. His close friends and his supervisor report him missing, right? So his phone and his boots, they're found. But Percy is nowhere to be seen. Percy's girlfriend leaves Mississippi. She was fearful for her safety after Percy's disappearance and the escalating threat. So Percy's girlfriend, she leaves Mississippi. She returns to Alabama. And it was stated that all the trauma and uncertainty surrounding Percy's fate made it impossible for her to stay. So October the 4th, news starts to spread that Percy has disappeared. He can't be found. So a family friend notifies Percy's family after seeing the news report about his disappearance. So on October the 5th, the family receives notification. Percy's family is formally notified that he's missing. They had no answers from law enforcement, and they began their own searching. October the 8th, a disturbing tip reaches the family. So while searching for Percy, the family is approached by a stranger who tells them that Percy and them white boys, quote unquote, had a big altercation in the woods. Now that right there heightened everybody's suspicions and heightened their fear, knowing that foul play is involved. October the 9th, the family contacts law enforcement again. So while they were searching for Percy, the family finds his dogs along the highway. 2 of them have been unalived. They started seeing buzzards in the area. So the family calls law enforcement, urging them to investigate further. So on October the 10th, law enforcement finally started conducting a thorough search and finds his body hanging upside down by his ankles from a tree. This is about 1 or 2 miles from the hotel where he was last seen. Now, this is an active investigation. It's active. But personally, I feel that all the stuff that is happening down there in Mississippi and Jackson, all them different places, Hattiesburg, all that, I feel that they probably not going to do anything. I feel they're probably going to scoop it up under the rug. I hope that they prove me wrong. I hope they prove us all wrong, that they will actually do something, investigate it, and arrest some people and convict them, put them in jail, hold them accountable. But just in case, this is our tip line. You can text that number right there above, or you can send us an email. We will keep you 100% anonymous, and we will turn this in.
All right, so there you have it. Shout out to my man again, Prophet P, with some very detailed information on our brother, Mr. Percy Mixon's demise. As you heard, the gentleman was reportedly, allegedly found hanging upside down by his ankles, suspended from a tree. And once again, the police, if you take that information and compare it to what was in that article, you begin to see how well these things once again are covered up. Now, there's no other article online about Mr. Mixon's demise. But of course, just like myself with Javion, I guess our brother Prophet did some research of his own and spoke with family members and things of that nature. So why wouldn't they put the details of his passing as though they should be, to alert the public that, hey, there's something about this. Now, once again, he starts with how my brother has been found, but also, most importantly, he mentions the interracial relationship with a woman from Alabama. Now, I'm not in Mississippi. I know there's interracial love all over the place. I used to stay in Virginia Beach for a long time, and I saw it all the time, and I see it every time now. So love who you love. I even, my brother-in-law is a Caucasian brother. Shout out to my brother-in-law. But nevertheless, we can't discount in these rural South places where some people still do not like the fact of black men dating white women. Like yesterday, I did the video about Mitchell County and a lot of the uprisings where it's always starts when a white woman accuses a black man of doing something inappropriate. A lot of the riots and a lot of the mass unalivements have stemmed from that angle. So evidently, this situation was no different. He said that Mr. Mixon was receiving threats, and even people were, busting caps at him. They was letting off shots. They was, they was letting it go at him, right? And so he called the police, and they said that the police did nothing. So evidently on this October the 1st, he went to see his mother. Maybe he had a premonition. I went to see his mother, hugged her, and then, that night, from the advice of a friend, he got a hotel room. Now, once again, that sounds maybe even, suspicious or set up as well. Maybe that friend set him up. We don't know. Evidently, another thing that sounds suspicious, he left to walk the dog without no shoes. And he never came back. And then they said that, the lady or his job, reported him missing a day later. Then they said his boots and his phone were found. Now that's something that kind of confused me, because they said he left without his shoes. Maybe they found his boots in the room, what have you, or maybe the people who quote unquote maybe have drug him out the room with his boots and threw him somewhere. Nevertheless, no one can find him. Then all of a sudden the white girlfriend leaves town, or the white wife, she leaves town amongst the threats that she was receiving. And once again, this is the aspect of it, because there's been many times where white women have messed with black men. Then when their family finds out, or when they get called or something, then they scream the R word. Or when it's say, hey, tell me where that boyfriend at, when it's her grandfather, her father, her uncles ganging up on her, then she's gonna say, okay, it's either me or him. I'm gonna choose him. And maybe that's the situation there. Maybe she was a witness to him being dragged out of the room, and then they threatened her, and she just said, okay, well, look, my life is more valuable than this man's life, so let me get out of Dodge. Nevertheless, October the 5th, like 3 days later, his family was informed that he was missing. They did not, they did not evidently get any answers or any traction from the police, so they started their own investigation. And then they was told that Percy and the quote-unquote white boys got into an altercation. Now, this is eerily similar to my brother Javion's case, where it is alleged that he and some white boys got into an altercation either at the Shell station or at the truck stop. Nevertheless, this man evidently got into an altercation. His family found out, then they started searching, and then they found his dogs on the street. And as my brother said, they were unalive. And then that led the police to go to that area and search and find the body in the woods. And that is the story of Percy Mixon. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is your first time hearing about it. Last night was my first time hearing about it when someone sent the video. And so I wanted to share this because, as we have seen a distinct pattern, whether it's Jacoby Lindsay in Hattiesburg, as he was talking about, Denores Richardson in Alabama, Evan Bryan in Vidor, Texas, and Javion McGee in Henderson, North Carolina. And now we have this gentleman in Jackson, Mississippi, found reportedly suspended upside down by his ankles in a tree. And, as my brothers was saying, there's no more time for marching. There's no more time for kumbayaing. There's whatever needs to be done. We can't, do the same thing that we've been doing, because that's the definition of insanity. A lady asked me, have we thought about marching in Javion's case? And, I just had to be honest. What is marching going to do? We were marching, 65 years ago. And the same things that are happening now happened 65 years ago. And so my question, to you is, what could be done or should be done? Like, this is obviously a pattern. As someone told me, this is much deeper than what we see. It's definitely a signaling or smoke signaling, amongst the many organizations that I have highlighted in other videos about the numerous groups, the nationalist groups, neo-Nazis, Triple K, whatever you want to call them, that are scattered throughout the country. So we know that there's still an element of the population that feels a certain type of way. And so, we have to be careful on how quick we believe what is put out to us. Once again, black men just really don't, through history, through statistics, just don't go out in wooded places and suspend themselves from trees. But of course, in this situation, there's no way he can do that himself if he's upside down by his ankles. So nevertheless, we stand on Luke 12:2-3. Everything that is hidden shall be revealed, and everything done in secret will be exposed. And what is told in the dark will be yelled on top of the rooftop. So it's only a matter of time that these organizations, these situations get revealed. And so once again, we must stay on it. We can't let them sweep it under the rug like we are, staying with the case of Javion McGee. And so, I hope y'all, tune in tonight when we will have his mother on, Lord willing, and she will also be sharing some of her concerns with the way her son's case has been investigated. But as always, feel free to reach out. Once again, 919-587-7782. If you do want to cash at me, I appreciate it. $ Rich Money 7777. And or you can Zelle at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com, or you can use the number taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com, or PayPal, whatever you want to do. Once again, I'm grateful for the support of the channel, for all of the calls and the encouragement. You see, there was like 3 calls right then and there, so I really appreciate that. So y'all stay safe, y'all stay vigilant, and peace and blessings and love to everyone. Peace, love.